Hi guys, welcome to the Golden Cruiser. I'm Cindy and today we're going to be talking about some cruise tips that smart cruisers know. Now in this video, I'm going to go over some cruise tips that the smart cruisers, and maybe you're one of them, know about. So grab your drink, maybe a snack, sit back and relax, and let's talk about cruising. Number one is the mega ships. Now you may have heard many passengers or travelers saying that they really don't like these huge mega ships. They're like floating cities. They have the zip lines, the water parks, so many things that they wouldn't even use. So they prefer the smaller ships. Well, the smart travelers know that because of these mega ships, there's less people on the smaller ships, less families, less children running around. So if you're wanting a quieter ship, just know that these mega ships have taken a lot of the passengers that they used to have onto these mega ships so that the ship you want to be on will then be quieter with the less children, if that's what you're looking for. Cruise ships are different for everybody depending on what you're looking for, but just keep that in mind. Number two is the Wi-Fi. Now, Wi-Fi at sea can be expensive. Here's the thing smart cruisers know. One device does not mean one person. So if you're paying for Wi-Fi for one device, that means that if you have the Wi-Fi, for example, I have it, you can sign in. I can sign in on my phone. I can check things like my email or Facebook or post a YouTube video or whatever I'm doing. I could then sign off. My son could sign on, do whatever he needed to do, sign off. My granddaughter could sign on and do her thing. And you don't have to sign on with one device. So I could sign off my phone. My son could sign on to his laptop. My granddaughter could sign on to her tablet and watch a movie. They just can't be connected all at the same time. But you would not be able to be on there all together at the same time. One person at one time on there, but you're not paying for every person. Unless you're the type of person that's going to sit on a cruise on your phone, tablet, all three of you, the whole cruise, which I wouldn't advise that. Why go on a cruise if you're going to do that? So just know that that is what that means, and you can actually share that Wi-Fi by doing it that way. Now, MSC is the only cruise line that I know of that you cannot do this on, but others like Carnival, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, you can do this. Number three is cruise loyalty. Now, cruise lines love to get their customers loyal to them, and they work hard to keep them. Gold, platinum, diamond, sapphire. The names sound luxurious, but the truth that smart passengers know is unless you cruise constantly, the tiers don't really get you that much. You would have to cruise a lot to get way up there. You might get things like priority boarding or a small discount at an onboard gift shop. But the real perks like a suite upgrade, free rooms, free specialty dining, and things like that, for most people that only cruise once per year, that means waiting a decade to reach the real benefits. So that's why smart cruisers know that they are not going to stick to one cruise line and be tied down and focus on, just being loyal to that one ship in hopes that they're going to get these great things. On the other hand, cruising different ships, which is what I like to do, I don't stick to one ship. I want to sail on different ships, different types of ships, to see the ships and not just, some people go on the same ship over and over and over, and I don't like to do that. If I've been on that ship, okay, I'm done with it. I'm moving on to another ship because I want to check out the ships. It's really hard to make those tiers of loyalty status where you get anything. I think I'm a little bit up there with Carnival because that's the most I've sailed on. And still, I'm only getting things like free water bottles, one free drink. I'm not getting that much for all the sailings I had with them. A lot of the sailings now go away if you don't use them after so long. So I don't know. That's up to you. If you want to stick to one cruise line, if you're loyal to them, I know a lot of people are, but just know that it's really hard to get way up there and get anything. And I really enjoy trying the different cruise lines, trying the different ships, and just seeing what they have to offer. Number 3 is cancellation penalty. Know that 100% cancellation penalty, what it really means. Now, you may have seen this in your details on your booking that 100% cancellation penalty, is applied. Well, say something happens last minute and you have to cancel your trip. You read the small print and it says the words 100% cancellation penalty. You think you just lost everything, your whole money. But that's not completely true. It only applies to the cruise fare itself, and you will still receive refunds for taxes, port fees, prepaid gratuities, excursions, and any packages you may have purchased. So you don't lose all of it that you paid, but you do lose some of it. Now, what smart travelers know is to get travel insurance. Can't talk enough about that. If you've watched anyone on YouTube, they all can't talk enough about that. Travel insurance is not that expensive. You can get it through the cruise ship or you can get it through a third party. I found that through the cruise ship, it was less money for us to get it for one trip, So it's like $9 a day, I think, for me, $2 a day for my granddaughter, goes, I think, by your age. So it's really important to get travel insurance. It would cover then the cancellations. It would cover any of the illnesses you might have, or if you have to be, flighted off of the ship to a medical facility or things like that, which your bills can be $10,000 or more. So travel insurance is really worth it for the little bit you pay. Number 4 is the steakhouse. Now, passengers love paying the extra to eat in the ship's steakhouse. It's one of the most popular specialty dining restaurants on cruise ships, but it can easily cost you $70 a person or more. And if you're traveling with a family or other people, that can really add up. So what smart travelers know is you can get this exact same steak dinner that you would get at the steakhouse by looking on the main dining menu at dinner time, and they offer premium entrees on there for an upgrade of about $20. Now this $20 steak upgrade that you might see on these menus, and the price could be a little bit different, that's just the average depending on the ship, is the exact same steak you would have if you went and paid like $70 for that dinner. And also you don't have to make a reservation in the dining room. You can walk in there, or you have your set time dining. It will be the same dish, the same cut of meat and everything. So if you want to pay less and get the same exact thing, think about that next time you're on your cruise. Number 5, stay on board on port days. Now, smart cruisers know that staying on board on a port day can actually be wonderful. The pool deck, which is usually packed, is suddenly wide open and quiet. There's no one in the hot tubs. The spa is offering discounts, and there's hardly anyone at the buffet. The ship is quiet and relaxed. Now, this doesn't mean you have to skip every single port, and it doesn't mean skip a port if you've never been there and you want to see it. This is mostly for people that have been to that same port before, or they don't care about the port, and they would just like to stay on the ship, and do this. Also, you could stay on the ship. Everybody usually getting off the ship in the morning. It's crowded. Everybody's eating early to get off the ship. So you could wait till later if you wanted to go into port. We're going to do this on our next trip. We have been down to the Mexican Riviera before several times, and we weren't going to get off at all in Puerto Vallarta. We've already done a lot of things there. We were just going to stay on for the day because it should be nice weather down there and we can go to the pool. But we thought that maybe after a little bit, after the crowds are gone, you can then get off the ship. You'll have an easy walk off. No one will be getting off. And just check out some of the vendors that are in the area. I know there they set up the vendors in the parking lot where the cruise ship is. And then right next door to it is a shopping market area with vendors and things. So we're just going to wander off a little and look at those, go back on the ship and just spend most of the day on the ship. It really is relaxing. You get to see a lot more things on the ship. You can walk right up to, restaurants or buffets and don't have to wait in any lines. So next time you're out there and you've been to this port before, and you go, oh, we've already seen everything here, think about staying on the ship. Number 6 is specialty dining. Now, smart cruisers know if you're wanting to book specialty dining, book it for the very first night of your cruise. Most travelers don't book specialty dining the first night. They want to get on the ship. They want to look around, and see what there is. They're not sure what time they're going to be eating. And they just go somewhere else the first night. So usually these specialty dining restaurants hardly have anybody in them on the first night of the cruise, so that you wouldn't have to wait at all. You could just walk right in. You'd get more, service and everything because they have less customers to wait on. It won't be crowded, and it will be quieter and quicker. So think about that next time you're wanting to book specialty dining, to book it on the first night. Number 7, cabin rules. Smart travelers have been using the 5, 10, 15 rule. Here's how it works. If your cruise is under 5 days and you want to save money, skip booking the balcony cabin. You'll be out exploring the ports and ship amenities so much that you won't use enough of your cabin to justify paying the extra for the balconies. Sailings between 6 to 9 days, the balcony is a better option. You can use your balcony for quiet mornings with coffee or breakfast. Getting some fresh air during the day and watching the sunset. While cruises for 10 days or more is where you should have a balcony. Longer days at sea make it better to get an outdoor space and add to your comfort. So now for the 10 and 15 part of the rule. Aim to book a cabin between decks 10 and 15, between the entertainment deck and the pool level. You'll have quick access to everything without being directly beneath the noise. So just check the deck plans to see what is around you before you book. Number 8, do this before the fun. Now, before the fun begins, when you just boarded your cruise on embarkation day, do these things first to get them out of the way. The muster drill. How many times have I talked about this? So many times. Get it over with first. Get on the ship, go directly to your muster station. You might have to sit and watch a short video. It might be like 2 to 5 minutes long. Our last cruise we did that. We just found a seat, watched it. Then once you watch it, you get a check mark. You head to your muster station, and all they do is scan either your cruise card or your app. It depends on the ship, and you're done. You don't have to do anything else. Like in the old days where you had to stand there with your life vest on, it was just a hassle. I've talked about this before, but that could have lasted an hour. So it's so much easier to get on, get that one done. And then once your luggage comes, unpack everything, store your luggage under the bed, get it done. Say you're on there for a 7-day cruise. It's all done. It's over with. You don't have to worry about it. Then you can go out and start having some fun. You don't have to come back later that night when you've had a few glasses of wine and go, oh no, we didn't unpack. Now you got to dig through there to get stuff. So it's just a lot easier to get these things done before you head out to the fun. Number 9, lock in prices. Cruise prices for items like drink packages, Wi-Fi, photo packages, special dining, shore excursions can fluctuate before your cruise. Now, most travelers don't realize these items are fully refundable before you board. So if you've booked one of these things and you keep watching the pricing and you see the prices have gone down, you can actually cancel your reservation and rebook it for the cheaper rate. So just know that. And I know that sometimes on some ships, prices do go down. On the last Carnival we were on, the drink package went down a lot towards the end. So smart cruisers, check these items at least once a week or often. Me, I'm checking things like daily before my cruise. So just know if you've booked at the higher price, just go ahead and cancel it and rebook it at the new cheaper price. Number 10, bringing the correct power adapter. Now, if you've ever sailed before, you realize there are usually only like 2 wall plugs in your cabin. Not enough in today's world to charge all of everybody's devices they have, phones, tablets, laptops, cameras, and so on. So most likely you will need to bring along an adapter to charge these items. Do not bring a surge protector, the old bar type. I'll put a picture up here with a long cord, the surge protectors you may have in your house. You cannot bring those on a cruise ship. They will confiscate them. You need to bring a non-surge protector or a USB hub. Now, depending on the cruise line you are on, Royal Caribbean only allows USB hubs that plug directly into the wall. I'll put a picture here since I didn't bring mine. And then the other ships like Carnival, Norwegian, most all of them will let you bring a non-surge protector that has the plug. And I'll put a picture here of this type. So check with your individual cruise line to make sure of what type of power adapter you can bring to charge your items because they're different. Number 11, embarkation gaps. Now, most passengers like to arrive early, but you might spend your first hours in line instead of relaxing. So smart passengers usually come later to avoid the long waits. They board between usually 1 and 2 when terminals are quieter and they can walk right on the ship. Their luggage is usually ready by the time they get to their room. Now, this depends on you and what you like. I'm told many passengers like doing this, but myself, I like to be on the ship like the first person. I like to get on there early and get the muster drill done and just start, exploring the ship and having lunch and everything. But I admit you do have to wait sometimes. Now, sometimes you can walk right through depending on where you're at, what cruise terminal and everything. Our last cruise out of Seattle, we had to wait. It was packed by the time we got in there, and it was a long wait. So it just depends on the person, but I have heard if you go later, there will be less of a line and you could walk right on. Number 12, don't overpack. How many times have you heard this? It's easier said than done, at least in my case. One of the biggest mistakes new cruisers make is overpacking. Taking extra shoes, extra formal wear, just in case clothes, just in case something happens, in case it's cold, in case it rains, of course, in case it's hot, in case I don't like this dress when I get on board, I can wear this one. But the truth is, you don't need as much as you think you need. Smart cruisers know that versatility beats volume. Best to mix and match your clothing so that you can wear them, a different top with different pants or skirt, neutral colors that would all match. A sundress that doubles as a cover up, collared shirts that also work at dinner but also on the pool deck. Ships also have laundry rooms you can use. And packing lighter makes it easier going through the airports, lugging your luggage. You unpack quicker, and you have more room in your suitcase for souvenirs when you come back, which is always a problem for us. We take extra bags to carry souvenirs in. I know it's easier said than done. I'm an overpacker. This trip, I'm really trying to take one suitcase. I usually have 2. I'm determined to take 1 this time. Number 13, take pictures. Now, taking pictures of everything important before you leave home. Things like your passport, your prescription medicine labels, your boarding documents, and even your luggage. Now, do these because things can happen. Your suitcase could get lost. You may need to get a refill prescription and you're out, in a port somewhere. This happened to my husband once. So take pictures of all these things. Take pictures of your suitcase in case it is actually lost and you don't have like an air tag or something to tell you where your luggage is. You can show the porters or whoever, the airport, the cruise ship, wherever you are, what the picture of your luggage looks like. Print the tag that's on it. That will help with that. Take a picture of your prescription bottles in case you need a refill, or in case something were to happen to you, medically, you got hurt or something and you can't speak to tell them what medicine you're on. Your family could get that picture, or send them a picture also if you're with other family members of what medications that you take. Take a picture of your passport. You don't need to take your passport into every single port, and I don't. I leave my passport in the safe in the cabin, and I just have a picture of it in case something were to happen and I needed to show that. Take a picture of it and then email that to yourself. Now, this is in case your phone gets lost, your phone gets broke or stolen, and you don't have it and you can't access your photos in it. You could get somewhere where you could pull up your email. Maybe you're with another friend that has a phone, or you go to like an area, a store or something, a cafe that has laptops available for you to use. You could pull up your email and still have those pictures on there of the items you took. But it's very smart to take pictures of these before you leave and have those. Also, you might want to consider, a lot of people do, as soon as they walk into their cabin, they'll take some pictures of their cabin or some video. There might be things like rips in the curtains, torn, or damaged end stand or something, and you just want to make sure and let them know that you didn't do this. You don't want to be responsible for it. So you have the picture here of the day you came in, showing them what happened. So there's just some things to, take pictures of that might help you in the long run. So there you have it. There's some smart tips that maybe you didn't know about, or maybe you do know about, maybe you do. Let me know in the comments below if you do any of these things, or if you have any other tips like this. So I want to thank you for stopping by today. If you liked my video, please give it a thumbs up, a like, and please consider subscribing to my channel. It really does help me out. So thanks again for stopping by, and I hope to see you again next time on the Golden Cruiser. Bye for now, and have a wonderful day.